One headline reads, the UAW strike at Ford, GM, and Stellantis could change the entire automotive industry forever. And that not be far off. And things are getting more twisted. To help us unpack it all is Professor Robert Bruno with the University of Illinois, a specialist in labor relations, etc. Professor Bruno, thank you again for your time.
You're very welcome, Brett. Thank you.
So we are now on day 7. Jeep maker Stellantis has sent a new proposal to its union. So I'm a bit confused here after reading that headline. You know, are the big three, do they stand together, or is Stellantis becoming a splinter? Basically, you know, are the big three companies negotiating with one union as a whole, or do the three companies bargain with their own UAW workers?
Yeah, they certainly do it independently. So each of the big three is sitting down with the UAW, and they're involved in their own independent negotiations. They clearly, though, understand what the UAW's position is, and they're certainly looking over their shoulder, looking at the other firms and what offers they're making. But they have to make decisions based on their own firm's position in the market, based on their relationship with the UAW. It's highly unlikely, however, that you'll see anything negotiated that isn't a pattern and that isn't common across the three firms.
Yeah, but really here you have three separate negotiations going on. So, you know, there's a bit of class warfare here, too. Teamsters recently had a big win for the working man, if you will. United Pilots had a big win for their union. Shawn Fain, president of the United Auto Workers, said billionaires, in my opinion, don't have a right to exist. He said the UAW made the 40-hour work week and now has to really fight to get it back. Here's the best part of what he said, I think. He says, you know, why is that? So another expletive can make enough money to shoot himself to the moon. You know, taking a poke at the Rocket Boys, Musk, Bezos, Branson, et al. Is this class warfare a good thing? Your take on Shawn Fain, the president of the umbrella group, the UAW?
Well, I think what you have to appreciate is that the new leadership under Shawn Fain is really reaching back into the legacy, the heritage of the UAW, a time when the country was deeply divided by economic class and workers were significantly exploited. And so the UAW really took a much more militant, class-based approach to lifting all workers up. And what's transpired in the last 40 years is essentially one class, if you will, a class of owners and investors have done incredibly well at the expense of another class, the workers. And Shawn Fain is tapping into that great discontent to rally his workers behind some pretty ambitious demands. Yeah,
I mean, people got to remember the impetus of the union was to really save workers' lives, and it did create the first and most boisterous middle class in the history of the world, one we've never seen. So last week when we spoke, we talked about suppliers, a trickle down. You know, a dozen jobs are directly affected by each of the 100+ thousand UAW jobs. So there's tier 1 suppliers, tier 2 suppliers, tier 3. They make everything, you know, from the widgets to the mirrors. Now already downstate here in Illinois, U.S. Steel, a tier 1 supplier, is idling a furnace at a plant. It could mean hundreds of jobs temporarily out of work. That's just in week 1. Are we seeing more of that trickle yet?
Well, it's something we certainly should be attentive to. In Illinois alone, roughly 6 to 7% really of all the manufacturing work is driven by the auto sector, and it is the primary sector within manufacturing nationwide. In Chicago alone, just around the Torrance plant, there essentially is a campus of 8 to 9 different firms that provide services to the auto industry. So there are lots of interconnections, and as this strike continues to expand and roll out, the implications of it are going to become far more dramatic. And if it goes on long enough, it will most certainly have a serious impact on the state's economy and the nation's economy.
Yeah, I mean, we can already see the beginnings of that. We're just in week one and kind of in the micro, well, but could become macro. So Devil's Advocate says that, you know, the union seems to be asking for a lot. 40% wage hike over 4 years, a 4-day work week, so 32 hours a week. Is the ask so great because their livelihoods, in essence, are so at risk, be it from regulation to electric vehicles, you know, the Tesla effect, et cetera? It's almost like the UAW is saying, without saying, this is maybe our last chance to make a big grab. Do you feel that?
Look, I think there's two contributors to the ask that you referenced. One is we've seen just terrible UAW contracts over the past couple of decades. So there's been a lot of lost time, and workers are feeling like they haven't been treated fairly. So that resentment has certainly built up. And of course, the companies are incredibly profitable, so now's the time to pay more. But the second point is the future. So they're striking today and they're negotiating today, but it's so much about the future. We're at the dawn of perhaps a new age in manufacturing. We're going to move away from fossil fuels. We're going to move to battery-operated cars. It's going to happen in a different way. And so they're setting the terrain. It's like we're at the dawn of that new age. And what are the rules? How are we going to go about doing this work, and what are you going to pay for this work? And that's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of wealth that could be created, but a lot of uncertainty. So this is definitely a moment where the UAW certainly can't afford to not push really hard at the terms in which this value and this wealth is going to be created.
Yeah, especially at a time when we've seen big worker wins with the Teamsters, with the airline pilots. Professor Bruno with the University of Illinois, especially in labor relations, we really appreciate you breaking this down for us, and something that is so important nationally, but also right here in our backyard. Professor, thank you.
Thank you, Brett.